Oh, I found it. Star Wars season is upon us. With The Rise of Skywalker being released to theaters and The Mandalorian hot on Disney+, this felt like an excellent time to bring up some highly overlooked Star Wars content. The Clone Wars. If you need a Star Wars fix or just want to be overflourished with the universe's deep lore, then this is the show to watch. Let me start off by defining what I mean when I say at its best. Understandably, I've made some titles in the past that have been up to viewers' interpretation, leaving me on the end of a loaded barrel. Fair enough. For me, personally, Star Wars at its best is the original trilogy. Fantastic characters, great moments, and clever world building. If you think perhaps the prequels or the new Star Wars trilogies at its best, then that's completely okay. Whatever you picture as the epitome of Star Wars is emboldened with this fantastic animated series.
I imagine you had something to do with that?
All part of the plan, Master.
So where do I even begin? The Clone Wars is massive, and making this review short is absolutely impossible. Without spewing off into tangents about how great this scene is, this character, or this moment is, I'm going to break down why the Clone Wars is Star Wars at its best in multiple videos. If you're interested in seeing more, leave a comment and let me know. As usual, feel free to subscribe and support my channel. The support so far has opened up new avenues of content that I can bring to all of you. So be sure to subscribe, turn that notification bell on. Back to the review. Star Wars The Clone Wars is an animated television show that debuted in 2008. It ran for 6 seasons, 121 episodes, and includes a theatrically released film of the same title. The series concluded on Netflix in 2014 before being revived for the 7th and final season to be released on Disney+. This series could easily be confused with the 2003 Clone Wars series developed by Samurai Jack creator Gennady Tartakovsky. For the sake of avoiding confusion, this series will not be referenced, but does come highly recommended. The 3-season, 25-episode series is simply fantastic, with beautiful visuals, very similar to Tartakovsky's other work like Samurai Jack and Powderpuff Girls. The Clone Wars was developed by Dave Filoni and Henry Gilroy, with creator credits to George Lucas.
George has really taught us a system of treating this animated process a lot more like live action.
Lucas would oversee the production as executive producer and employed his company, Lucasfilm Animation, to help develop the series. Filoni and Gilroy were given complete creative control over the process by Lucas, with a few key ingredients that were off limits. Lucas asked the team to not use Han Solo, Chewbacca, and Boba Fett. Lucas also asked the team to not explore planets seen in the prequel trilogy, but as with some of the character restrictions, changed his mind. Gilroy gained inspiration for the series using adventure sci-fi serials from the 1930s, very similar to what Lucas did in the creation of the first film. They also utilized unused ideas Lucas had scrapped from previous films. For instance, the narration before each episode feels like an old wartime newsreel.
Invasion! Separatist leader Wat Tambor has taken control of the planet Ryloth.
Star Wars The Clone Wars takes place before Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, adding elements, characters, worlds, and situations the franchise has never seen before, including arguably the best character in the whole universe, Ahsoka Tano. More on her later. The best analogy I can build for audiences on the fence about watching The Clone Wars is this. The original series laid strong foundations for a big, beautiful house of the future. This foundation would go on to create, well, almost everything you know and love today about Star Wars. The prequels are the exterior of the house. The walls, the doors, those shutter things. The Clone Wars series, it's the structural beams attached to the foundation and the house that keeps it standing strong. Yes, the Clone Wars is that important and that good. Oh, and the Disney trilogy, that might be a bunch of old photos on the wall. A good memory and then, well, you move on. The Clone Wars course corrects and fixes one of the biggest issues with the prequel trilogy, ObiWan and Anakin's relationship. I always go back to the iconic moment in A New Hope when Obi-Wan talks with Luke about the past.
He didn't hold with your father's ideals, thought he should have stayed here and not gotten involved.
Here we learn that they both were Jedi Knights.
I was once a Jedi Knight, the same as your father.
They're planet-hopping thieves looking for a quick score. They have no interest in picking a fight with Jedi.
They are devious and deceitful, and most importantly, stupid.
It's a wonder you don't get along with them, Dooku.
He was the best star pilot in the galaxy.
He was the best star pilot in the galaxy.
A cunning warrior.
And a cunning warrior.
And a good friend.
And he was a good friend.
Now, unfairly, the Clone Wars has the benefit of over 100 episodes to better develop this relationship.
It was important for you to arrive without it, so your capture would be convincing.
Oh, they were convinced all right. But how come I'm the one getting caught all the time? It doesn't look good.
When you're a Jedi Master, you can make the plan.
That's just it. How can I become a Jedi Master if I'm always getting caught?
At least you're a master at getting caught.
Very funny. Very remarkable woman.
She is indeed.
This speech given by Obi-Wan in A New Hope never entirely rang true for me, at least in the prequels. Anakin never really seemed to like Obi-Wan, or at the least kind of just tolerated him.
Why else do you think we were assigned to her if not to find the killer? Protection is a job for local security, not Jedi.
Hold on. This whole operation was your idea.
Well, R2 has been...
no loose wire jokes.
Did I say anything?
He's trying.
It's all Obi-Wan's fault.
And you will pay attention to my lead.
Why? What?
And he was a good friend.
The Clone Wars fills this in with excellent character moments between the two that show that they weren't only close, but also had differing opinions that would lead to the demise of their relationship.
Exactly. Just chime in anytime.
Oh no, I'm enjoying this far too much. I should have seen that coming. What are you doing?
Following him.
Not that way, we need to cut him off.
You cut him off. I'll follow him and meet you at the hangar.
Why do I even try?
They're threatening to kill the slaves unless you surrender.
It's good to see you're always ready to negotiate, but I've had enough bargaining with slave drivers.
Anakin, you must realize this is a fight you cannot win alone.
Anakin's turn to the dark side never really worked for me in Revenge of the Sith. Viewer mileage varies, of course. It felt a bit abrupt. To not only fully embrace the dark side, but to also practically kill Mace Windu and the younglings and turn on Obi-Wan. Again, here is where the Clone Wars, surely aided by time, great stories, and Anakin-specific moments, benefits.
Skywalker, you fool.
Tell me what happened! If it was up to me, I would kill you right here!
But lucky for you, the man you murdered would rather see you rot in jail.
Anakin's heroic downfall needed more oomph, and that's where the Clone Wars comes in spades. Not only was he a bit of a lone wolf in how he went about accomplishing his missions,
I don't like this. I hope Obi-Wan knows what he's doing.
but he also acted out in a way similar to how we saw in Attack of the Clones when he avenged his mother's death.
You've already made your decision, haven't you? This meeting is just a formality!
The only love I feel in my heart is haunted by what would happen should I let go.
Then it is not love. It is a prison.
Anakin's rage over not being picked to be on the council didn't quite make sense either, but again, thanks to his heroics in the Clone Wars, it did.
How can you do this? This is outrageous.
Anakin's heroic efforts in the Clone Wars made him one of the ideal leaders for the Republic.
Look! It's the General!
War's complicated, Ahsoka, but let me simplify it. The Separatists believe the Republic is corrupt, but they're wrong, and we have to restore order.
Not only that, but he also took the Council's side near the end of the series.
I'm sorry, Master, but I'm not coming back.
The Jedi Council turned on Anakin's Padawan, Ahsoka Tano, under a misunderstanding.
We understand that the Force works in mysterious ways.
See, now that's some bullshit.
Anakin stood by the Council's decision.
I'm asking you back.
He understood where she came from, but ultimately backed the Council over his own Padawan.
The Jedi Order is your life. You can't just throw it away like this.
So the decision to not be picked by the Council further pushed him down the rabbit hole and closer to the dark side. That also brings me to the final point of this video, Ahsoka Tano.
A little rough around the edges, but with a great deal of training and patience, she might amount to something.
I remember first seeing Ahsoka Tano, this young, vibrant teenage character. It felt like exactly what would be in an animated TV show for kids. I really thought that's all she would be, that pop, bubblegum fill-in for kids to laugh out loud.
Excuse me? I believe it was my suggestion to change the plan?
That's kind of true, Snips.
Boy, was I wrong. Ahsoka's character arc through the series is some of the best writing in all of Star Wars, period. Her introduction and usage in the sequel series, Star Wars Rebels, the Clone Wars series successor, might make her the best character in all of Star Wars. She grew from this bright-eyed, adventurous Padawan to a capable Jedi Knight with decisions of her own. Instead of falling to the Council's wants, she ultimately became her own person.
I'm sorry, Master.
In a lot of ways, she's the character J.J. Abrams and Disney always wanted in Rey. They just never figured it out like Lucas, Filoni, and the crew did. Seeing her grow into this capable, powerful Jedi and an adult is one of the highlights of the series.
Ahsoka, I do trust you!
I know you do. Wish me luck.
It also leads to one of the most epic moments in all of Star Wars, when she finally faces her former master, Darth Vader, in the successor series Star Wars Rebels. Part of me would love to see an Ahsoka Tano live action series, but part of me fears disaster would occur. For now, I'm grateful for the excellent character we did get. Now, this is part 1 for a reason. This show is one of the most expansive animated series ever made, with tons of diverse characters, locations, and situations that constantly make each new episode engaging and fresh.
Lara! Lara!
Sir, what is that she keeps calling us?
Nera. It means brother.
Because of this, going over every topic, like the clones, Night Sisters, or even the return of Darth Maul, would craft a review that is just too long for a YouTube video. If you are interested in seeing part 2, please let me know in the comments below.
I suppose you expect me to surrender.
Actually, I plan to let the clones execute you right now.
The Clone Wars is one of the best animated series ever made. I'd put it up there with Batman the Animated Series and shows like Avatar: The Last Airbender. Lucas and the fantastic team he put together really deep dived into this large universe. This actually felt like a universe-sized war, spanning storylines, large-scale battles, tons of characters, and wonderful, memorable moments.
I will not look!
The Force is strong.
Anakin!
Powerful Sith you will be.
I hate you! No!
It also felt like the Star Wars of old, with tons of iconic scenes and simply wonderful characters to fall in love with. It is peak Star Wars and will perfectly satisfy every fan out there seeking more. Hey Tots, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate everyone pushing me over 5,000 subscribers and wish everyone a happy holiday. See y'all in the next video.